In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the especially merciful. As long as we live in this world, we will have to interact with family, friends, acquaintances, and strangers. Misunderstandings and conflicts are part of life. Knowing how to handle them is one of the most important ingredients for a successful and peaceful life. Consider the last time you felt wronged or misunderstood. That sting of hurt, the rush of anger, it's a universal experience, one that transcends cultures and borders. Yet, how often do we pause and ponder the Islamic perspective on these emotions? Forgiveness and patience aren't just virtues to aspire to. They are principles deeply embedded in the fabric of a Muslim life. But embracing these principles isn't always straightforward. The path to forgiveness can be hindered by pride, and the journey towards patience often derailed by impulse. Why then do we struggle? Why does the heart waver when it comes to forgiving someone who has wronged us? Why does patience thin in the face of provocation? Today, we will discuss the Islamic perspective on forgiveness and patience. We'll uncover the reasons why these virtues are not just commendable, but crucial for our emotional and spiritual well-being. From the serenity that comes with forgiving others to the strength found in patient endurance, these teachings offer a blueprint for a life lived with dignity and grace. We will discuss 15 reasons why you should be patient and forbearing. This discussion includes practical and actionable tips you can apply in your daily interactions with people for a peaceful life. In Islam, the act of forgiving others is intimately connected with attracting Allah's mercy, a concept deeply rooted in the understanding of Allah as Al-Ghafur, the most forgiving. This divine attribute is eloquently depicted in the Quran, where Allah says, "And who forgives sins except Allah?" This verse not only highlights Allah's unmatched capacity to forgive, but also serves as a model for Muslims in their interpersonal relationships. By forgiving others, Muslims mirror divine mercy, drawing themselves closer to Allah's compassion and benevolence. The Quran further reinforces this, stating, "Let them pardon and overlook." Would you not love for Allah to forgive you? Here, forgiveness is not just encouraged, it is linked to the very essence of receiving Allah's forgiveness. This reciprocal relationship between human forgiveness and divine mercy shapes the Muslim attitude towards forgiveness. It becomes an act of faith, a submission to a higher moral standard set by Allah. So, in the Islamic worldview, forgiveness is not merely a social nicety or a personal release, but a spiritual duty. By embodying forgiveness, Muslims not only cultivate inner peace, but also contribute to a society rooted in understanding and compassion. In forgiving, they are not just letting go of grudges, but actively seeking Allah's mercy, a pursuit that elevates their spiritual standing and nurtures a culture of empathy and tolerance. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, exemplifies forgiveness and forbearance, even towards his most ardent enemies. His actions, as recorded in the Hadiths, offer profound lessons in mercy and patience. A striking instance is during the conquest of Mecca. Despite years of persecution and hostility, the Prophet chose forgiveness over revenge. He declared to the Meccans, "Go, for you are free," sparing those who had once sought to kill him. This moment, forever captured in the annals of Islamic history, reflects his deep commitment to forgiveness. Another poignant example is found in the story of Taif. After being brutally rejected and injured by its people, the Prophet was presented with an opportunity for divine retribution. Yet, he chose to pray for their guidance rather than their destruction, an act of forbearance that astounds to this day. These instances from the Hadiths are not mere historical anecdotes. They are enduring lessons in the power of forgiveness. Prophet Muhammad's, peace and blessing upon him, response to adversity and hostility was not bitterness, but an extraordinary demonstration of patience and mercy. His life teaches Muslims that true strength lies not in vengeance, but in the ability to forgive, even under the most challenging circumstances. It's a lesson that transcends time, inspiring countless believers to follow a path of compassion and understanding, echoing the Prophet's legacy of forgiveness. In Islam, forgiveness is not just an external act of pardoning someone, it's a profound process of purifying the heart. By forgiving, one cleanses the heart from the corrosive effects of malice, hatred, and grudges, which are seen as spiritual pollutants. This purification is essential for attaining inner peace and spiritual well-being. Islam views the heart as more than just a physical organ. It's the center of spiritual and emotional life. Holding on to negative feelings like resentment and anger is akin to allowing toxins to accumulate in the heart, clouding one's judgment and hindering spiritual growth. When one forgives, it's like releasing these toxins, allowing the heart to return to its natural state of purity and tranquility. This cleansing process has profound spiritual implications. A heart free from malice is more receptive to divine guidance and wisdom. It becomes a vessel of compassion and empathy, reflecting the attributes of mercy and forgiveness emphasized in Islam. Moreover, a purified heart fosters deeper connections with others, promoting harmony and understanding within the community. In Islam, the act of forgiveness is much more than reconciling with another. It's an essential step towards spiritual cleansing and personal transformation. It's a journey towards a heart unburdened by past grievances, open to the light of faith and the tranquility that comes with spiritual clarity. In Islamic teachings, letting go of grievances and anger through forgiveness is pivotal to achieving tranquility of mind and soul. The Noble Quran states, "And the servants of the Most Merciful are those who walk upon the earth easily, and when the ignorant address them harshly, they say peace." This verse highlights the serene demeanor of those who forgive, illustrating how they maintain peace of mind even in the face of ignorance and hostility. Furthermore, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, said, "The strong is not the one who overcomes the people by his strength, but the strong is the one who controls himself while in anger." This hadith underlines the importance of self-restraint and forgiveness as indicators of true strength, directly linking them to inner tranquility. Forgiving others in Islam is a spiritual act that frees the individual from the burden of negative emotions. By releasing anger and resentment, one clears the heart and mind, paving the way for a calm and contented inner state. This tranquility is not just a fleeting feeling, but a deep-seated serenity that enhances one's connection with Allah and fosters a more harmonious life. In Islam, the act of forgiving others is not just a moral virtue. It's a deed that can earn immense rewards and blessings from Allah, especially with an eye on the hereafter. This belief stems from a profound understanding that forgiveness is not merely a worldly interaction, but a spiritual investment with eternal dividends. The Quran eloquently states, "And hasten to forgiveness from your Lord, and a garden as wide as the heavens and earth, prepared for the righteous." This verse vividly portrays the vast rewards awaiting those who practice forgiveness, likening them to an expansive paradise. It underscores the idea that forgiving others opens doors to Allah's mercy and leads to a bountiful reward in the afterlife. Islamic teachings emphasize that Allah's forgiveness is closely tied to how individuals forgive each other. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, said, "Allah does not show mercy to those who do not show mercy to others." This hadith highlights a reciprocal relationship between human forgiveness and divine compassion, suggesting that forgiving others positions a person to receive Allah's mercy. Forgiveness is a pathway to earning Allah's favor. It's an act that transcends the temporary satisfaction of resolving earthly disputes and reaches into the realm of eternal bliss. By forgiving, one not only cultivates peace in this life, but also sows the seeds for a rewarding hereafter, an integral aspect of the Islamic perspective on forgiveness. Forbearance and forgiveness are crucial in strengthening social harmony and relationships within the Muslim community, a principle deeply rooted in Islamic teachings. These virtues foster a culture of understanding, empathy, and mutual respect, essential for communal unity. A classic example from Islamic history is the Prophet Muhammad's, peace and blessing upon him, treatment of the people of Taif. Despite facing severe hostility and harm, he chose forgiveness over retaliation. This act of forbearance not only prevented further conflict, but also left a lasting legacy of compassion and tolerance in the community. In contemporary settings, this principle is equally relevant. Consider a mosque community resolving internal conflicts. When members opt for forgiveness over holding grudges, it not only resolves the immediate dispute, but also strengthens the bonds within the community. This approach transforms potential rifts into opportunities for deepening mutual understanding and respect. Similarly, in family dynamics, when relatives practice forbearance and forgiveness, it nurtures a loving and supportive environment. Such actions counteract the bitterness and division that can arise from misunderstandings and disagreements. Therefore, in both historical and modern contexts, forbearance and forgiveness are more than just individual acts of virtue. They are the glue that holds the Muslim community together. By embodying these qualities, Muslims can cultivate a harmonious social fabric where relationships are built on the foundations of mercy, understanding, and mutual respect. Holding on to anger and resentment can have profound spiritual and psychological consequences, a fact acknowledged and addressed in Islam. These negative emotions, when harbored, can cloud judgment, disrupt inner peace, and create a barrier in one's relationship with Allah and with others. From a spiritual perspective, Islam teaches that anger and resentment weigh heavily on the heart. They hinder spiritual growth and can lead to a state of heedlessness, distancing the individual from the path of righteousness and compassion. The Quran reminds us, "And let them pardon and overlook. Would you not love for Allah to forgive you?" This verse encourages letting go of grudges, underscoring the link between forgiving others and receiving Allah's forgiveness, an essential aspect of spiritual well-being. Psychologically, these emotions can lead to stress, anxiety, and a general sense of unhappiness. This is why Islam promotes forgiveness as a means to liberate oneself from such negative feelings. The act of forgiving is seen as a release, a way to cleanse the heart and mind, fostering a sense of tranquility and contentment. Islam, therefore, views forgiveness not just as a moral choice, but as a healing process. By encouraging forgiveness, it offers a path to emotional and spiritual liberation, leading to a healthier, more fulfilling life, both in the worldly sense and in one's spiritual journey. In Islam, forbearance and forgiveness are not just noble virtues. They are regarded as clear signs of piety and closeness to Allah. These qualities are deeply intertwined with a Muslim's faith and spirituality, playing a crucial role in enhancing one's religious journey. Forbearance, the ability to remain patient and composed in the face of provocation, is seen as a reflection of strong faith. It's an acknowledgement that everything happens by Allah's will, and maintaining patience is a form of submission to His plan. Forgiveness is viewed as a direct manifestation of mercy, a quality highly esteemed in Islam. The Quran states, "And those who avoid the major sins and immoralities, and when they are angry, they forgive." This verse links forgiveness with moral righteousness, suggesting that the ability to forgive is a sign of spiritual maturity and closeness to Allah. Forgiveness and forbearance enhance a Muslim's faith by nurturing a heart that mirrors divine qualities, patience, mercy, and compassion. Embracing forbearance and forgiveness not only improves one's moral character, but also deepens their spiritual connection with Allah, paving the way for a more fulfilling and devoted religious life. In Islam, the ability to forgive is revered as a hallmark of strength, nobility, and high moral character. Contrary to the perception that forgiveness is a sign of weakness, Islamic teachings assert that it demonstrates immense emotional and spiritual strength. This understanding is deeply rooted in the Islamic ethical system, where virtues like mercy, patience, and compassion are highly valued. Forgiveness in Islam is considered a noble act because it reflects the attributes of Allah, the most merciful and forgiving. By forgiving, a person emulates these divine qualities, showcasing a morally superior character. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, exemplified this in his own life, forgiving even his staunchest enemies, thereby setting a standard of moral excellence for Muslims to follow. Forgiveness or forbearance is seen as a sign of strength because it involves overcoming one's ego and anger. It takes great courage and self-control to pardon someone who has wronged you, making forgiveness a mark of inner fortitude and resilience. The Quran emphasizes this, stating, "And who restrain anger and pardon the people, and Allah loves the doers of good." When individuals practice forgiveness, they not only elevate their own moral character, but also contribute to the well-being and unity of the community. Islam views forgiveness as a powerful tool for personal growth and societal harmony, reflecting a profound wisdom that transcends the boundaries of time and culture. In Islamic teachings, forgiveness plays a pivotal role in facilitating reconciliation and mending strained relationships. It's seen as a vital bridge that connects hearts and heals divisions. The act of forgiving, encouraged in Islam, is not just a personal release, but a communal responsibility aimed at fostering unity and understanding. The Quran highlights this in the verse, "So pardon them and ask forgiveness for them and consult them in the matter. And when you have decided, then rely upon Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him." Quran 3:159. This guidance emphasizes forgiveness as a precursor to reconciliation, urging believers to seek amicable resolutions to conflicts. Moreover, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, demonstrated this principle in his life. He consistently forgave those who wronged him, thereby repairing relationships and strengthening community bonds. One of the most notable examples is his forgiveness of the people of Mecca, which not only healed a deeply fractured relationship, but also paved the way for the peaceful spread of Islam in the region. In practicing forgiveness, Muslims are encouraged to look beyond personal grievances, considering the greater good of community harmony. This approach is not about conceding defeat, but about winning over hearts and rebuilding trust. It's a profound strategy, rooted in Islamic ethics, aimed at transforming strained relationships into opportunities for growth and unity. Through forgiveness, Islam teaches that even the most challenging relationships can be repaired, fostering a culture of empathy, understanding, and peace. In Islam, sincerity in forgiveness is crucial, as it is closely tied to the avoidance of hypocrisy. Genuine forgiveness is a reflection of true faith, where actions align with Islamic principles. Insincere forgiveness, on the other hand, is seen as a form of hypocrisy, contradicting the essence of true Islamic character. The Quran emphasizes sincerity in all actions, including forgiveness. Allah says, "O you who have believed, why do you say what you do not do? Great is hatred in the sight of Allah that you say what you do not do." This verse underscores the importance of consistency between words and deeds. The consequences of insincere forgiveness are profound. On a personal level, it hinders spiritual growth and the purification of the heart. When forgiveness is merely lip service, it leaves lingering resentment, preventing the complete healing of relationships. Moreover, it damages the individual's credibility and moral standing within the community. In contrast, sincere forgiveness elevates one's spiritual and moral stature. It's an honest release of grudges, reflecting a heart aligned with the teachings of Islam. This sincerity not only heals relationships, but also strengthens one's faith and connection with Allah. In Islam, sincerity and forgiveness is not just a moral choice, but a cornerstone of a believer's character, essential for a life grounded in authentic faith and practice. Forgiveness and forbearance are cornerstones of Islamic ethics, deeply rooted in the values of compassion and mercy. These virtues are not just recommended, they are integral to the very fabric of a Muslim's character, reflecting the essence of Islamic teachings. The Quran frequently emphasizes these values, as in the verse, "Take to forgiveness and enjoin good and turn away from the ignorant." This directive is a clear testament to the importance of forgiveness and patience in dealing with others, promoting a culture of understanding and tolerance. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, embodied these virtues in his life, setting a profound example for all Muslims. His forgiveness of the people of Taif, who had caused him immense harm, is a powerful illustration of forbearance. Despite the opportunity for retribution, he chose mercy, exemplifying the highest standards of moral conduct. Furthermore, the Prophet's teachings consistently urged kindness and patience, even in challenging circumstances. He said, "Show mercy, and you will be shown mercy. Forgive, and Allah will forgive you." This hadith underscores the reciprocal nature of these virtues in Islam, linking human actions with divine response. Forgiveness and forbearance embody the spirit of compassion and mercy, key attributes of Allah, thereby elevating the moral and spiritual stature of a believer. In Islam, the act of forgiving others is deeply intertwined with the pursuit of Allah's forgiveness for one's own sins. This reciprocal concept is a fundamental part of the faith, profoundly influencing the practice of forgiveness within the Muslim community. The belief that forgiving others opens the door to divine mercy is rooted in the teachings of the Quran and the Hadith. As the Quran states, "Forgive others as Allah will forgive you." This verse conveys the idea that by showing forgiveness, Muslims earn Allah's mercy, a crucial aspect of attaining spiritual and moral purity. This principle profoundly impacts how forgiveness is practiced among Muslims. It encourages individuals to approach forgiveness not just as a social or emotional act, but as a spiritual duty. The awareness that their own forgiveness by Allah is linked to how they forgive others motivates Muslims to let go of grudges and resentment. It fosters a community where mercy and compassion are not just values, but acts of faith, integral to the believer's relationship with Allah. In the Muslim community, forgiveness is more than just reconciling with another person. It's a path to self-purification and spiritual elevation. This belief nurtures an environment where individuals strive to forgive, not only for social harmony, but as a means of seeking Allah's mercy for their own transgressions. Forgiveness is more than an individual virtue. It's a key ingredient in cultivating a culture of tolerance, understanding, and mutual respect. This ethos has a profound impact on societal harmony. Forgiveness breaks down barriers of resentment and fosters an environment where differences are resolved through understanding and compassion. For instance, the Prophet Muhammad's forgiveness of the people of Mecca despite years of persecution is a compelling example. Peace and blessing upon him. This act not only healed deep wounds, but also set a precedent for tolerance and coexistence in a diverse society. Islamic teachings encourage looking beyond personal grievances to understand others' perspectives. This approach promotes empathy, a critical component of mutual respect. An anecdote from the Prophet's life illustrates this. When a Jewish man consistently threw trash on his path, the Prophet responded with kindness and concern when the man fell ill. This response transformed animosity into respect, showcasing the transformative power of forgiveness. Forgiveness helps us in building a tolerant society. This culture of forgiveness is not just a religious ideal, but a practical approach to nurturing social harmony and collective well-being. Muslims, through their practice of forgiveness, are not just adhering to their faith, they are setting a powerful example for society. When Muslims forgive, they actively embody the principles of mercy and compassion that Islam holds dear. This behavior serves as a beacon, inspiring others to adopt a similar approach in their interactions. For instance, in a diverse community, when Muslims forgive offenses and overlook faults, it encourages a culture of understanding and tolerance, reducing conflicts and fostering harmonious coexistence. On a global scale, this practice has even broader implications. In a world often marred by strife and misunderstanding, the Islamic ethos of forgiveness offers a pathway to peace and reconciliation. It challenges the narrative of vengeance and retribution, presenting an alternative model based on empathy and compassion. By practicing forgiveness, Muslims contribute to a more forgiving and tolerant world. This not only enhances the image of Islam as a religion of peace, but also sets a practical example for resolving conflicts. In the final analysis, The essence of forgiveness in Islam is deeply intertwined with the pursuit of Allah's mercy. We learned that forgiving others is not only a noble act reflecting high moral character, but also a spiritual discipline that earns Allah's favor. This understanding is vital in our daily lives, where forgiveness can transform our relationships, bringing peace and harmony to our homes and communities. Remember, forgiveness is a strength, a sign of resilience and grace. It's about overcoming our ego and extending mercy, just as Allah extends mercy to us. Forbearance, too, plays a pivotal role in our spiritual journey. It's a reflection of deep faith and understanding that everything happens by Allah's will. Exercising patience in the face of provocation is a testament to our trust in Allah's plan. It's not just about enduring hardships, it's about growing through them. As we apply these teachings, let's strive to make forgiveness and patience practical aspects of our daily interactions. When faced with conflict, choose to forgive, to release the burden of grudges. Practice patience, even when it seems most difficult. These actions not only better our own lives, but also set a positive example for those around us. O Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, bless us and our viewers with the strength to forgive and the patience to endure. Grant us tranquility of heart and peace of mind. Bless us with the wisdom to navigate life's challenges with grace and dignity. O Allah, as we honor the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. We ask for your blessings and peace upon him and upon us. Help us to follow his exemplary path of mercy, compassion, and forbearance. Please, continue to support our channel, engage with our content, and be a part of our community. Your involvement is not just about viewing, it's about growing together, fostering a space where we can all embark on a journey of ongoing spiritual growth. Together we can build a community rooted in the beautiful teachings of Islam, a community that thrives on forgiveness, patience, and mutual respect. Thank you for watching this video. May Allah guide us all to a path of continuous learning, understanding, and spiritual enlightenment. Remember, in the art of forgiving and being patient lies the secret to a peaceful heart and a harmonious life. Until next time, stay blessed and inspired.